Hello, hello, my name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last episode, we took out Marjolaine for Leliana, and Leliana seemed rather stunned about it. She seemed kind of in shock. So I really do think we should check in on her, just see if she's okay.
Oh, hello. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
I'd like to talk about what happened today. You just looked distracted. No, I thought you looked like you wanted to talk, though. Yeah. Leliana was very upset after Marjolaine died. She said something along the lines of, she's dead because of me. And she just seemed rather shaken. No, I thought you looked like you wanted to talk, though.
It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just thinking.
About what? Do share. You're less talkative than usual. I don't think Artin would... How do I put this? She wouldn't directly pry. You know, saying, what about, or do share. I think she'd just... You know, she'd try and get her to open up. You're less talkative than usual.
I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me. And now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her.
Sometimes people surprise you. Maybe you did and didn't want to admit it. Is there anything I can do? Get over it. We have work to do. I think Artin can really empathize with this, given her relationship with Balin. I do believe that Artin and Balin had a really close relationship. I think they were very good friends growing up, and Artin... She always looked out for her little brother. She loved her little brother. She remembers the little boy who cried, you know, desperately for days when their mother died. That's what she remembers. And then just one day he could turn around and betray her like that. I think she gets entirely where Leliana is coming from. That pain of like, I thought I knew this person, but clearly I didn't. Sometimes people surprise you.
I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them. But that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the Chantry.
But you said the Maker wanted you to leave. She would have attacked you there eventually, and you think that would have made it better? Not number one. Artin... To be perfectly honest, Artin doesn't believe in the Maker. She thinks that's some weird human thing. She doesn't really get it. Marjolaine probably would have attacked Leliana in the Chantry eventually. Again, I think this is something Leliana is trying to work out, and I think just asking her questions could be helpful to Leliana, you know, to try and help her, you know, work out her thinking, work out her logic. And you think that would have made it better?
You don't understand. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. It's already happened. When we killed her, I enjoyed it. Seeing her dead gave me satisfaction.
I'm guessing, and you think that would have made it better. That was a kind of like... And you think that would have made it better. Oh, that's one of the things I don't really like about having the options laid down like this. You could say something one way, But then the game is like, actually, no, that was that angry option. That's one of the few things I do like about the conversation wheel, is that you can actually see, like, oh, this is going to be charming, this is going to be nice, this is going to be angry. I do think that could also work. Artin's like, and you think that would have made it better? And she's like, no, you don't understand what, this is where I'm coming from. It still works, kind of. It already happened. When we killed her, I enjoyed it. Seeing her dead gave me satisfaction. She did you a great injustice. It's only human, don't punish yourself. So, she deserved it. You can stop thinking that if you really want to. She did you a great injustice.
But that is no reason to rejoice over her death. That is what she would do. I don't want that. What we're doing. What we've done. Hunted men down. Killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping.
Marjolaine chose who she became. So can you. You're not slipping. This is who you are. You're a good person. You always will be. Don't punish yourself for doing something you enjoy. I think Artin would think that Leliana is a good person. She came with us to battle the Blight because of a dream, not because anyone had told her to, but because she felt called to it. Not many people would be willing to do that. You are a good person. You always will be.
How can you be so sure?
You left the Chantry to help others. That means something. Evil doesn't worry about not being good. You strive to be good, and that's what's important. I think number one is kind of weak. In that... How do I put this? I think Leliana wants to be told something profound. Maybe profound is the wrong word, but she wants to be told something meaningful. And I think Artin gets that. So while all of these are true, all of these are very true, but I don't think she'd say number one just because that isn't... out of the three, that sounds the weakest. Evil doesn't worry about not being good.
That is true. I can always trust you to show me things from a different perspective. I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, Leliana. Where are you at? 75. Very nice. Yeah, as Leliana has asked to be left alone, we'll leave her be for now.
You called.
I'm pretty sure I still don't have anything else for Sten. I have a question?
I am hardly surprised.
Never mind.
Very well.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Oh, sad times, Sten. We'll get more dialogue with him eventually.
It speaks.
You're still with me, I see. I would have expected golems to be different. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
How did you end up in Honleith? Do you remember? You watched that village day and night for years. Let's move on. How did you end up in Honleith? Do you remember?
Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Golems snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it.
I would have thought you'd enjoy scaring humans. But why were you out in front of that tower? You didn't like this Wilhelm, I take it. Do you remember anything before Honleith? Interesting, I'm done asking about that. But why were you out in front of the tower?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
I like that. His wife?
I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out.
How does someone shrink a golem?
With a chisel. And a lot of nerve.
I imagine. You didn't like this Wilhelm, I take it?
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Not really, it was quite the bargain. Wilhelm's wife sold it, I believe. Oh yes, a fortune, in fact. I think Artin would probably avoid this question. Because Artin places a lot of value in Shale, given that Shale is a part of Artin's culture and heritage. I think, one, Shale would probably be offended to know that its control rod was just given away. Artin wouldn't want to release that information. Wilhelm's wife sold it, I believe.
Hag.
I love the rivalry there. I'm contemplating whether Artin would ask number one or not. If Shale does enjoy scaring humans, and that's not something we want Shale to be doing anymore, so I think we just want that thought, put to the back of its brain. Just never to be revisited again. Shale is now fighting the Blight, being protecting humanity, not scaring them. Do you remember anything before Hawnleaf?
I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark.
So the battle Shale's talking about is actually fighting the Orlesians. Shale actually crops up in, I think it's The Stolen Throne. It's one of the books by David Gader. It's the one with Marek and young Loghain. Wilhelm and Shale are in that. Just how old are you exactly? Yeah, I would have thought you'd enjoy scaring humans. Just how old are you exactly?
I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention.
Interesting. I'm done asking about that.
Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
It does.
It speaks.
I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, master, I exist to serve the master. I shall kill for the master and only for the master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
No need to get touchy. See, that's what I'm talking about. Are they dirty limericks? Number 3 is very funny, but again, I don't think Artin would say that. And I don't think Shale got touchy at all. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
I have no idea what golems sound like. You just seem very animated. Being different isn't so bad. I imagine Artin would have met golems. given that there are a few owned by the Shaperate, and given that Artin is a princess, I don't know if she would have ever spoken to any of them. I imagine they're just kind of standing around, you know, wherever they're being kept. You just seem very animated.
I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
If you say so. I agree, being a golem would be handy. It's an experience, I'll give it that. The control rod could always be fixed. Yeah, but Artin has been a golem in the Fade, and it was extremely handy. I agree, being a golem would be handy.
Imagine the benefits. No need to eat or sleep or perform other functions. Walk underwater, crush the heads of every opponent. The possibilities are limitless. Barring the occasional 30 years or so of paralysis, there's little to compare. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
I don't think Artin would actually become a golem if it was offered to her. It's one of those things, you know, like, oh, I'd really like to go to this place one day. You know, it's just like a thought.
It's a curious thing. I do not know how else to describe it.
What? Is something wrong? You look confused. Oh, did you just have your first feeling? Is this really important? I like number 3. I really like number 3, but Artin's not that sarcastic. What? Is something wrong?
No, nothing is wrong. It is a little embarrassing to admit, in fact. I am reminded of our first meeting in the wilds. I had been in animal form for some time, watching your progress. I was intrigued to see such a formidable woman, obviously more potent than the men she traveled with. Yet I resented it when Flemeth assigned me to travel with you. I assumed that, at best, you would drive me from your company as soon as we left the wilds.
Why would I do that? Believe me, I was tempted. I needed a mage. Yeah, Artin... I don't think Artin's the type of woman to be put off by other formidable women. I think she'd rather be surrounded by formidable women. You know, women specifically who, you know, are willing to fight and potentially go against what their culture would necessarily dictate is proper. I mean, in Artin's culture, women are supposed to just get married and try and produce babies. That sounds horrific to Artin. Why would I do that?
I am aware that I have little talent for forming friendships, to put it lightly. 'Tis something I know nothing of, nor ever thought I needed. Yet when I discovered Flemeth's plans, you did not abandon me. Whatever your reasons, you fought what must have been a terrible battle without hope of real reward.
It was not such a terrible battle, trust me. I did it because I'm your friend. I did it because I need you here. Don't get gushy, it was nothing personal. Yeah, we did it because Morrigan is our friend. I did it because I'm your friend.
And that is what I do not understand. Of all the things I could have imagined would have resulted when Flemeth told me to go with you, the very last would have been that I would find in you a friend, perhaps even a sister. I want you to know that while I may not always prove worthy of your friendship, I will always value it. But enough of such idle talk. There are more useful things to be done, surely.
Oh, Morrigan! I love that chat. Oh. It's so sweet. And now we're going from one gushy chat to potentially another. Hey, Alistair.
Your desire is my command.
Well, hey. I have some questions.
Of course.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure I've asked everything about the Grey Wardens. Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Yeah, no, I've no more questions.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Your desire is my command.
I have some questions.
Of course.
Ooh. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Give me a minute. Bless me, excuse me. Okay. Now that this isn't the opening line to a romance, I'm far more happy to say number 2. I imagine Artin would be interested. If you were raised in the Chantry, have you never...
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
Sex, you know what I mean. Forget I asked. Ooh. I actually think this would be something Artin... Artin's quite a forward person in terms of she's willing to just be like, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing this. But I think when it comes to sex, I think she'd be quite like, I must not say the word. It's a private affair. I can't. You know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do. Have I never seen a basilisk? Ate jellied ham? Have I never licked a lamppost in winter?
Sex. Now you're making fun of me. Forget I asked. Now you're making fun of me.
Make fun of you, dear lady. Perish the thought. Well, tell me, have you ever licked a lamppost in winter?
Oh God, Alistair. That's not what I meant, and you know it. I think Artin gets the undertones of what he's saying. No, I've never licked a lamppost in winter. Why, yes, I've licked a lamppost in winter. I've licked my fair share of lampposts, and then some. Forget I asked. No, I don't think Artin ever has. I think she came close to that with Gorham, kind of. But then the kind of little romance was discovered, and that was like the end of it. It never kind of went beyond a bit of like furtive kissing in like, you know, little alcoves in private. No, I've never licked a lamppost in winter.
Good. I hear it's quite painful. I remember one of the younger initiates did it on a dare once, and there was pointing and laughing. Oh, the humanity. I myself have also never done it. That. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course, but you know.
You never had the opportunity? You haven't. I was joking. Oh, I see. You lack the proper parts. You're a coward. Let's not be mean to Alistair. You've never had the opportunity?
Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They taught me to be a gentleman, especially in the presence of beautiful women such as yourself. That's not so bad, is it?
Sorry about that. The phone rang. Where were we? Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They taught me to be a gentleman, especially in the presence of beautiful women such as yourself. That's not so bad, is it? Ooh. You think I'm beautiful? Not really, no. Sounds like an excuse. Ooh. I'm wondering if Artin considers herself beautiful or not. She maintains her appearance. At least back in Orzammar, she was kind of something of a status symbol. She was the princess of Orzammar. Women should want to be her, men should want to be with her. And I think that, like, to Artin, it was never presented to Artin as, you can just do that by killing a load of Darkspawn and being powerful. I think she was kind of raised that you also need to take care of your appearance too. So I do think that she thinks she's beautiful. I don't think she'd be taken aback by Alistair calling her a beautiful woman. Yeah, I don't think she would be. Not really, no.
Good. You'd want a gentleman to court you, wouldn't you? If you were to be courted by someone, that is.
Only if it were the right gentleman. I think I'd like that, not my type. Alistair, you're already courting me. I think I'd like that.
That's good to know. I'll have to remember that. Your desire is my command.
I have some questions.
Of course.
What changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
You've been a Grey Warden longer than I have. I mean, what changes physically? Don't avoid the question, I want to know. I mean, what changes physically?
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
He wouldn't tell you? That seems rather cruel of him. Just try that line on me. Yeah, I don't think Artin would appreciate being told that. Just try that line on me.
I have other lines for you. Trust me. Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
So it was a joke? Excuse me, I haven't felt anything like that. Maybe you were just a pig. Not number 3. And it sounds like a kind of an odd joke. I haven't felt anything like that.
Really? Because I was watching you wolf down food the other day, and I thought, ooh, it's a good thing she gets a lot of exercise.
I think you're exaggerating. Are you calling me a pig? What can I say? I'm a growing girl. Ooh. I don't think Artin would get very offended. I don't think she'd go so far to be like, what did you call me? I think you're exaggerating, or what can I say? I'm a growing girl. Ooh. She is getting more comfortable joking with people, so I don't think she'd be averse to saying number 3. Maybe she's thinking back to, like, the past few, like, months, and she's saying, oh, maybe I have been eating my food a lot quicker than I was when I was in Orzammar. What can I say? I'm a growing girl.
I'll say. I didn't mean it like that. No, don't hit me. I bruise easily. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you'd call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
I've had some strange dreams. Nightmares, yes, I know what you mean. Nothing to get excited about. So, we haven't spoken about this in a while. Dwarves don't dream. So the fact that she's having nightmares, that's like double the trauma. It's like, and now she's suddenly seeing these things before she couldn't, now she can, and they're about this horrific dragon. So I think she'd be very disturbed. Like, I think Artin kind of gets this knot in her stomach every time she has to go to sleep, because I don't think that's something she could cope with very well. Nightmares. Yes, I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
What are you talking about? His time has come? Bad news, I take it. Spit it out. His time has come?
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live. Give or take. The Taint, It's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
How cheery. Why Orzammar? So I'm going to die. Ooh, I don't like any of these. I don't like any of these because Artin would know this. She's from Orzammar. She's noble. She probably would have met Grey Wardens who are coming down to die. She might not know why. You know that, Grey Wardens have 30 years to live, and then the calling gets so bad that they're just like, we'll go into the deep roads and we'll fight. Oh. So, not number 2. Definitely not number 2. She knows why Orzammar. And I don't think number 3, because to be honest, I don't think the dwarven life expectancy is particularly long. Not because dwarves have shorter lifespans, just because they live so close to the Darkspawn. You're much more likely to be killed in a Darkspawn raid. How cheery.
And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. There you have it.
It seems a high price to pay. I never wondered that. I understand. I feel betrayed. This is wrong. I don't think she'd feel betrayed. I think... As I said, I doubt Artin kind of thought she'd live to a ripe old age living in Orzammar. So she's just kind of like, 30 years is 30 years, whatever. It seems like a high price to pay. Is it though? They're taking out the Darkspawn. They can kill the archdemons, and it's. I don't think Artin would know anything, the specifics of how the Grey Wardens kill archdemons, but I think she's smart enough to know that at the end of the Blight, it's always a Grey Warden who kills an archdemon. She's not quite sure of the significance of that, but I think she's kind of like, well, it must be a Grey Warden thing. Only Grey Wardens are capable of killing archdemons. So I don't think that's a high price. That kind of leaves me with number 2. I do think Artin would understand the sacrifice of it all. That these are people who dedicate themselves to taking out the Darkspawn. In an order like that, there are gonna be secrets. I never wondered that. I understand.
You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
If this is all we have to look forward to, he got what he deserved. He will be remembered, Alistair, as will the others. He will be remembered, Alistair, as will the others.
I know. Ending the Blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
It will. Don't worry about it, bud. Now then, that is all of our conversations done. In the next episode, we will start up another of the main quests. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.